back to Cask and Point. Today, we are trying one of the most highly sought after bottles in 2024, Russell's Reserve 15 year. Now, Russell's Reserve 13 has released for the last few years, and it's usually approximately 114.8 proof, and people really like it. Its MSRP, or manufacturer suggested retail price, is around $150, but it commands much closer to $250 on secondary markets and retail stores and stuff like that. But Russell's Reserve 15, they upped it $100, so it's $250 manufacturer suggested retail price, but over $400 on secondary. People love it. They say it's the whiskey of 2024, and I couldn't wait any longer. So the second I got on a sample from a good buddy of mine named NC6789, who's actually from New York and a local, so hopefully I get to meet him one day in person. But he sent me a sample of this Russell's Reserve 15. Very thankful for that. Thank you, NC. But I needed to find out just how good this is. So let's try it, but we're going to start with Russell's 13. We're going to warm up our palate. We're going to see just how good this is. We're going to give it a rating. If this is your first Cask and Point review, I rate every whiskey I've ever tried on a scale from 1 to 10. Generally, 5 is like a decent whiskey. It's worth sipping. A 3 is, really bad, like a Jack Daniels. It's not really worth sipping. It's a mixer. And then a 7 is like a daily sipper. 8 is like a weekly sipper. 9 is really special, an annual pour. 10 is absolutely perfect. Like really good B-Techs are going to be like around a 9. So we're going to try this, we're going to give it a rating, and then we'll move on to Russell's 15 and just see how much better it really is, because I'm a little bit suspicious. Whenever a bottle gets that much hype, I really just want to see how good it actually is. So let's try Russell's 13 and then move to the Russell's 15. Yeah, there's a lot of caramel on this. There's a little bit of oak funk, like a little bit of musty oak, some rye candy, which is a little bit odd on a bourbon. Definitely a ton of cherry, red plums, some cranberry here. But not a lot going on. There's kind of like an overpowering, a little bit of ethanol nose. I've never been a big fan of Russell's 13, which is why I'm suspicious about Russell's 15. But just looking at the color here, the Russell's 15 is much, much darker for 2 extra years and 2.4 proof. So I don't know. Let's see. But let's try this Russell's 13 and then we'll give it a rating. Oak, caramel, cherry, plums, some rye candy, a little bit of nut, like a hazelnut, which is interesting, a little bit of dill. It's not bad. I don't particularly love it. I really don't think it's worthy of $250 secondary. I really don't think it's worth paying anything $1 over MSRP for. In fact, I even struggle to justify that bottle's worth $150. It's good, but the Wild Turkey Master's Keep, which I did a review, and I've actually tried all of them and did a review on that, and I'll put a link in there, and that absolutely kills it. Even the worst batches of that be Russell's 13 for me. So I don't know. I just don't see the value in it, especially when those Wild Turkey Master's Keep are around the same on secondary, around $300, and this is $250, and even not a secondary, 150 MSRP, 200 MSRP. The more recent ones are like 275, but I don't know. I just don't see it in Russell's 13. I think this is a 7.6. I think it's good, but I'm just not getting an overly complex pour. I'm not getting a pour that has a super long finish. It's like a short to medium finish. It's kind of just hot with some cherries and oak. I just don't get a whole lot. But that's Russell's 13, 7.6 here. Let's move on to Russell's 15 and just see how much better it supposedly really is. Oh my God. On the nose, there's a ton more old oak on this. There's cherry, but there's kind of plum, cranberry. There's actually a lot of like blackberry, like a cooked blackberry. There's some raspberry, blueberry. There's definitely sweet oak. There's definitely some old oak in this. A little bit of rye spice, a tad of ethanol heat. Now, both of these pours have been sitting about 30 minutes. So at this point, if there's ethanol heat on the nose, there's just ethanol heat on the nose. I don't think it's anything about opening up. But that is way different. Let's try this. Oh my God. Okay, it doesn't taste that different. And initially it tasted like totally different, but then I kind of got the same like plum, cherry, oak, but it's much smoother. Like, it doesn't taste 117 proof, which is a little bit odd. Actually, the Russell's 13 tasted a little bit hotter, and I don't know if that's really to the advantage of the Russell's 15. It's definitely getting a lot more refined oak, a lot more complex fruity flavors on this. It's definitely, instead of a 7.6, it's in the 8s, but pour of the year? 2024? Whiskey of the year? Really? And look, in the next like 2-3 months, you're going to see a lot of YouTubers post their, top 10 in 2024. Russell's 15 is going to make almost all their lists. Really? Let's take another sip, but it's good. Pour of the year? $400 on secondary? $250 MSRP? $250? I don't know. Let's take another sip. I mean, I'm getting a lot of good fruity flavors. I'm definitely getting like a cooked blackberry. I'm getting some raspberry. I'm getting blueberry. I'm getting all the different berry flavors. I'm getting some cherry in there. I'm getting like a little bit of melon, very little, like watermelon. And then there's some oak in there. The finish is also like medium length. This is kind of my great complaint with the Russell's 13s, that at 114.8 proof, even if that's cask strength, like it's just not going to compare to 130, 140 proofers most of the time. It's good. I like it a lot, but pour of the year? Really? I don't know. I'm unconvinced. I'm going to take this last sip before I give it a rating, but it's very fruity and oaky, and I can get why the people that like the normal Wild Turkey flavors, this is going to give you a much deeper red fruit flavor, kind of dark fruit flavor, and it's going to kind of take away a lot of the oak that I know a lot of people don't like, but I'm actually very unconvinced by this. As a pour of the year, I think it's good. I think it's really good, but I don't know. Let's take this third sip and then I'll give it a rating. There is a very refined flavor to it that I do like. And the amount of fruits that I'm getting on it, I mean, I'm getting all the fruits. There is even a little bit of peach, nectarine, those kind of stone fruit flavors mixed in with the red fruit, the black fruit, all these things. There's almost a little bit of like apple on it on top of that raspberry, blackberry, and all of those things. It's really good. It is really good. But the finish is medium length at best. It's probably even short to medium. It's better than Russell's 13, way better than Russell's 13. And if you like Russell's 13, fine. Maybe Russell's 15 is like the pour of the year for you, but I'm unimpressed by this as a pour that's worth $150. And so this at $250, I can understand the jump. I think it's way better. I think it's really good, but it's not pour of the year. It's not even mid-8s. I would rate this, I'll give it an 8.3. I think an 8.3 is fair. I think it's, and that's because of those deep, fruity flavors. I would really, initially I would have rated it a lot lower, but I am going to appreciate how unique those kinds of deep, fruity flavors are. I almost think like I'm, in the Bahamas, like eating fruit on the beach here, like really fruity, blackberries and cherries and raspberries. Like I'm eating like a fruit bowl with this, which is really good, but I don't know. I think KOAs are killing it of the rare character. I think my favorite stag batches are going to beat it. I think, Stag Store picks are going to beat it. I think any BTAC is going to beat it other than probably Sazerac 18 and Igor 17 because those suck. I don't know. It's good, but I'm looking at this from the lens of this is costing people $400, $425 on secondary, in retail stores. I actually saw this bottle for $399.99. And I passed on it, and the next day somebody bought it. And this was like right when it dropped. I'm glad I didn't buy it. I mean, I have the one here, but I'm glad I don't have backups. It's good. It's just not that good. But that's one man's opinion. Hey, you're going to watch a bunch of YouTubers rave about this thing. That's okay. I'm here to give serious reviews where we compare this against everything else. It's good. It does not have a long finish. It is complex in its fruit. It doesn't give me that much else. It's a good pour. It does not deserve Whiskey of the Year. It does not deserve like an annual, like a 9, like a really good pour. It's not Thomas Handy. It's not anything like that. But that's the review. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and I will catch you all in the next review. Thank you.